Today on the podcast, I'm genuinely excited to welcome Sara Aleem, a nurse, healthcare business strategist, and visionary entrepreneur who's changing the way medical professionals connect with patients and grow their practices. As the founder and CEO of Elysian Medicina, Sara brings together her hands-on nursing experience and a real knack for digital innovation, helping healthcare providers build their brands, earn patient trust, and see real growth. Sara's passion for empowering nurses, healthcare workers, and immigrants to discover new pathways to success truly shines in everything she does. She's been recognized as one of America's top nurses and featured in Today's Nurse, a testament to her impact and dedication. Get ready for a friendly, inspiring conversation about how bridging clinical care and digital strategy can make a real difference in healthcare and why authentic branding matters now more than ever.
Sara, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. How is it going?
It's going wonderful. Summer is finally here. We are no longer in that one day rain, one day sweater, and then the other day it's like, oh my gosh, I need to be in the swimming pool.
Yes, it's still here. We are struggling. Still, we are
Okay.
fluctuated here. So it is that sari from your tradition. They call it sari, the dress.
Oh, no, this is not sari. It's a shalwar kameez. It's a different dress. So I actually have another thing that is coming, is Pakistani dress. So I said I'm not doing Western, and I like the Floyd. This is also like the colors of Elysian Medicina marketing. So I said this one is
Yeah, this is
like
aligned also.
branding as well. So I went with that. Yellow doesn't go. Please discard the yellow. But I mean, viewers who are watching it, don't count the yellow, but the green.
Yeah, the green. Yeah, your company themes, it's have a green, turquoise, and also myself. Also, we have with the KN. So we
Yes,
are matching.
like-mindedness. I love connecting. I am so glad that I started coming to LinkedIn this year. Last year it was very, very soft, but this year it has been really, really good. And so I think I met so many wonderful nurses, which is not something I was doing last year. It was very like here and there, but not enough. So this year has been really blissful to meet so many beautiful, amazing nurses and nurse community that I did not find in any other place. Even though I do follow some of the very influential nursing groups on Facebook and on Instagram, networking groups, even in Triangle region, I follow some of the nursing groups. There is not that the vibe on LinkedIn is very different.
I'm happy to hear that from you, and we will touch base in deep with the LinkedIn. Especially, this is a hot topic in every podcast. So, Sara, give us a brief about what you are doing, and let the audience know more about you.
Okay, so my name is Sara Aleem. I have transformed immensely in my several careers. I started off as a biotechnologist. I enjoyed it. But then I kept on evolving based on the kind of intelligence and the kind of trait that I wanted to see in my personality. So inherently, I'm an introvert and I am a very analytical person. So biotechnology made sense. But then I was missing a lot of emotional piece. So I transitioned into nursing, and it has been by far one of the most rewarding things that I've done. It has really helped me emotional development and people skill development. And then I said, it's time for me to grow further. And so I moved into digital marketing from a personal growth standpoint of view. Yes, there's a lot of professional growth standpoint of view, but from a personal growth standpoint of view, I think business helps you develop that intuitive part of the brain. And so I'm always seeking, what can I do? What else can I put back into my personality? There's always opportunities for self-growth. And so business was definitely something I opted for personal growth from an intuitive side of things. Digital marketing, I actually chose in 2023 while I was working at Johns Hopkins and doing travel nursing. I picked at least 23 different businesses and I shortlisted it as digital marketing because it's really diverse. There's a lot more I can do to help the patients and the doctors and our medical community. And it also helps me with my creative side. So I shortlisted it as 2, Amazon and digital marketing. No, actually 3, Amazon, digital marketing and coaching. Coaching, I still want to pursue at some point, not right now, but later on, I do want to do sometime this year later. But digital marketing first, I did even took a course on Amazon, didn't like it. But so I'm nurse, biotechnologist, and an owner of a digital marketing company that only caters for medical community. We do from websites to content creation to video editing to blogs to newsletters to whatever, however you want to do the digital presence and branding and all that kind of good stuff.
Lovely, lovely. You are superwoman. I'm very surprised to hear from you. When you start to think about entrepreneur and open your business, you have 23 idea. So as a nurse, you came across a 23 idea and then you list it. That give the impression how nursing field, they have a variety of options they can do. So when you have open-minded mindset like yourself, you see all around you is opportunity and you go. Also for me, I see marketing is untraditional way to do it. This is something it's becoming more need and more required to have advertising and marketing agency. They understand the healthcare system, they do practice in the past, and they know exactly what is the workflow. And this is something I believe you are one of the elites on the market. So very excited to see that, and well done, Sarah. Sarah, here one of the things I found in your profile and your link, you mentioned you were trapped by the routine and burnout on the system and the outdated of the technology on the hospital. So can you describe the moment you realize you need to change what has been done on nursing field or your practice and take your break free? So you tell us the end result, have the business, but when you start to think, no, I need to move out of the nursing. I know you started not by nursing as a practice, then you started at biotech, then you come back for the nursing. So this is not common. Usually they started nursing, then they go for health tech or biotech. So you do it in different way. So you are unique. So tell me your story.
So I think I'm going to have to divide it in two different ways. We'll push the biotechnology part later because it's a separate topic. Let's focus on why I felt trapped into nursing, even though it's such a fulfilling thing. I was very much fulfilled with what, like, on an emotional part of the things and self-improvement part of the things for me personally. So I was earning six figures at that time being a travel nurse. So really, I didn't, if you look at on the paper, if I present all the information on the paper, somebody would ask me, why would you choose business? You were doing so well. You were chosen by some of the best magnet hospitals. You were doing six figures. You had opportunity to travel and explore. Why would you go into business? So here's the big why. I very purposefully asked my travel agency to connect me with the hospitals that are the best of the best. It's either going to be Mayo Clinic or John Hopkins or one of those elite hospitals that are there, because they all come in magnet hospitals, which I believe there was this research done in 2020 that there's only 11 or maybe 16% of the hospitals in the United States that come under magnet hospitals. So I already know that the hospitals that I know are practicing evidence-based practice, and whether it is hiring the staff, whether it's giving patient care, they have already done their research to bring the best of the best for the workers and for the patients. So if you see those kind of hospitals challenged with patient outcomes and employee dissatisfaction or employee frustration, any kind, I'm generally speaking, I'm not pointing at any hospital or anything like this.
So just to make sure, here you are referring for those 16 hospitals where they are magnet certified, but still their staff, they feel dissatisfaction. That's what you meant?
No, I'm just saying that it is very okay. So let me answer you this part. Let me clarify this part. So there was a research. I'm telling you the reason why I picked Magnet Hospital. The reason why I picked Magnet Hospital, A, because they're very, very well sorted out. There's only like 16% or very few. The percentage is still low. The other thing is that they have already kinked out a lot of the problems that can be solved from evidence-based practice. So I already knew that if there are problems that I'm seeing in that hospital, they're not coming because of the hospital or the lack of research, but could be because they're systemic reasons.
Mhm.
So the reason why I left nursing or moved out of nursing is because it was very clear for me, systemic issues, not related to a hospital, not catering to one hospital, but throughout the hospital. Because if already a hospital is so good that they have achieved magnets system and they're already doing evidence-based practice, really they have a research staff that has already removed a lot of problems that you're seeing on a medium level hospital or a hospital that is not invested too much in research. So if they are facing some problems, that means they are genuine problems that are either the system is not allowing them or the policies are not allowing them. And a lot of the burnout is coming from because of those policies. Unrealistic policies, unrealistic expectation from the nurses, unrealistic protocols that cannot be done by. So those are things that get frustrated. Like in the past 3 months, I've spoken to several doctors who are continuously saying that we are asked to do a lot of like charting. I would rather give that time to the patient. Now, this is something that can easily be fixed with AI. So, I mean, that's why I feel frustrated, because the change that we want to bring is not meeting the current standards. And in fact, some of the hospitals that I've recently worked at, the acuity level is so unbelievable. I have actually worked with a patient who was within 4 months, she deteriorated immensely. I'm not talking about the hospital. I'm not talking about, I'm just saying how the system is not helping us as workers, as nurses, looking at the family members frustrated and how it is not helping the patients. Between the family members and between the system and between the policies and all that, this patient was either rejected or did not want to apply for 130 sniff places that we presented to them, 130 plus places we presented. Either the family members were not happy with the service, the options we were giving, or their medical condition was not allowing them to go to good nursing places. So these are some of the things that are just so policy entangled that it takes a lot of, we have to come with a better solutions for that. So that's why you feel capped, because you feel like you're not climbing the ladder as soon as you want to. You're continuously seeing the acuity rate being high and not seeing much solutions happening. And you're seeing that systemically, that, with more and more time, like between 2021 and 2023 and 2024, I noticed that I was primarying more patients because so many nurses had gone out. The shortage was so unbelievable that I felt really capped. So when you say that I wanted to escape the system, I truly did, because I didn't see that I could help with retention or I could help with patient outcomes. I just wanted to do something more. I just could sit on the sidelines and watch my patients decline and not finding solutions for them.
It's heartbreaking, and this is uncommon to hear that, because we used to have nursing, they are thriving, and doctors to go and work with the magnet hospital. And now to hear that this is the system, even if you are certified and give the high quality and services and try to follow the evidence basis, still the system overall it's prevent us to give high quality. So I want here to highlight it. I know you came across the Daisy Award nomination, and you play a leadership role, and all those it's keep you felt and fulfilled, and that also drive you to go and create your own company which is specialized on the marketing. And I think, if correct me again if I pronounce it wrong, Elysian Medicine Digital Marketing, correct?
Elysian, it's a Greek name. Elysian means poetic, artistic, and it's coming from a little bit of, because Greece was where the medicine was, in Hippocrates was there. And then there's a lot of mythology, Greek mythology, that you can bring from a branding point of view to explain some of the medical things and medical trends and stuff like that. So Elysian means poetic and artistic and paradise like. So Elysian Medicina Digital Marketing.
Lovely. So tell me, what drive you to create this kind of business? Because you mentioned you sorted three business as a short list out of 23. What drive you to go and open this company in the market and to pursue this space?
So this is one of the places where I could bring both my biotechnology and nursing background. The other businesses, either I had to become a financial person, which I don't want to do, even though I'm an analytical person. I really didn't want to go into too much of financial side of things, that is like billing and coding and all those kind of businesses. Or there is Airbnb, that is also like more dealing with finances, looking at analytics. There's a huge part in Amazon business that you have to look into analytics. I did not apply my nursing analytical skills within that niche, so they did not. I still wanted to stay connected with nursing because I have really emotional connection with nursing. Coaching you can do. I'm also a bariatric nurse. So coaching is where I would use my bariatric expertise, and marketing I'm already doing, because there's a lot of noise in the marketing agency, and so there is a lot of like mismatch. Like some of the information in 2023, I was actively talking to patients and finding out why they are not, looking for treatments early on. So my company's motive is early detection, early intervention, better prognosis. That's the premises of why I created. If you can influence through your digital marketing for people to go see a very good doctor or very good nurse ahead of the game, then you are not suffering to go to the hospital in the end game. It is probably the worst time to be in the hospital. There's short staffing, there's lack of doctors, there is lack of, the leadership is also, kind of not getting paid to what they should be paid, so much underpaid, so much overwork. So it influences how the quality of service you will receive. I personally do not want to be a patient. I'd rather go see and figure out my things faster than leaving it to the end. So the marketing should not show the bling, but the kindness and the love and the compassion and the expertise of the doctor, and not just any kind of bling or any kind of noise. So that's why nursing,
Lovely.
this
So
this is the
here,
most.
if just to make sure we get the point for everyone. So who is your ideal client?
Who is my ideal client? Doctors, nurses, chiropractors, coaches that are in fitness industry.
So your business model, it's more to B2C, from business to consumer, not from business to business. So you are not targeting the hospital.
No, I am B2B. I am B2B. I'm not B2C. Yes, I have a very strong sense of B2C, which is why I design the advertisement and do the copywriting and do the projection the way the C part is satisfied, or they want to see their doctors or nurses to be. So I'm a B2B business.
B2B business. And how you see those hospital and healthcare system based on your experience, not necessarily in your city or in your state, are they ready to move forward and start to see how they need to play a role for preventive medicine and communicate their patient through the technology and digital marketing, or still they are behind?
They are behind. I have seen lately in the past year, I have seen a lot of newsletters. They are so full of information, which is true. There have to be certain information, but just the organizer. This is one an example that I'm seeing. There's so much stuff and so much repetition and not much strong call to action. This is one of the many examples that I've actually seen in the hospitals. I personally have not tapped into. I'm still a newer company. I've barely made it to 1 year mark, and last year it was a very soft launch, and I was doing mostly consulting. So I've not tapped into the hospitals per se, but I've tapped into many clinics. In fact, up until beginning of this year, I was still working with just the pain management and neuro doctors. I diversified because a lot of coaching and a lot of different clients started coming, like hospice care and other kind of clients. So I said, I'll open marketing. Medicine is already there, so I'll open marketing for all niches. I'm not going to restrict it to pain management. I do not know if you met me, but I just revamped my whole website to show I'm open to all medicine, not just pain management. Before that, I had a funnel that was only for pain management doctors, regenerative medicine, because that's something I enjoy. I like orthopedic. I worked in orthopedic for a very long time, so I like it.
Which makes sense, and you have your own methodology, which you emphasize on the importance of right marketing, right growth, right branding. So, what does right mean in this context? How does your medical background give you the unique perspective compared to any other marketing agency?
So I'll give you an example, because otherwise the topic will go really in. There's so many different nuances. So one of the things, for example, I looked at a reputable marketing agency, and it's not just any agency. I looked at them from A to Z. It is actually owned by the doctor. One of their advertisement was, I looked at the picture and I know that they have generated AI. I'm not, targeting any business over here. I'm just saying that it was about endometriosis, and the woman had her hand. I know endometriosis can be painful. A hand over here versus a hand over here makes a huge difference. So if you're projecting the pain, then at least do the right picture. Do not put, I mean, if you're doing over here, that's a chest pain right here. You cannot go over here. So this is like one of the many examples that I can give you. And so I think another part of the right is if you give too much information, like if you put so much information, the patient can get confused. They will lose the information you're trying to give and it will overwhelm them. If you give them too little information, they'll come with a wrong expectation. They'll think that you're a magic worker and you will just fix me like that. Magic pill, blue pill will be given to me and it'll be done. So it's finding the right messaging and finding the right goal without overwhelming the patient or your ideal client. You want to give them enough information to create the sense that they need the service, but not to overwhelm them that you really need the service.
Yeah, it does make sense, and you remind me with those movie and advertising on the TV when someone in the ICU they put for them as a nasal cannula, or they put the cannula in wrong place.
Yeah.
Yeah, all,
Yeah, and so if you have seen the meme that is going on, it's like this is the analgesic, and so they find out that he's putting it in his anus and not putting it, it's not.
yes, yeah, yeah. This is
So
where we need.
analgesic could be something that they could be thinking that it's going in the wrong hole, but
Yeah.
it should be in the. So yeah, there is a problem with the current marketing situation.
Due that shortage, we have communication breakdown, and this is happening internally. And I'm expecting also this is happen. We're not expecting. We know that it's happening already with the patient. So if we do that with the patient, so this will happen also with the marketing agency. So the ideal customer or the physician or the hospital, whatever, they will thought this is makes sense for them because they think in this way. So if the marketing agency they have no clue about what they are doing, yeah, we will see a lot of errors as you mentioned. So and here we can see your value proposition, how you can position your agency in the place where something it's very hard to compete with you because you being a nurse, you being a traveler, have different system, work with the top-notch hospital. So this is all of this give us a more understanding about that. So
So, and the other thing is that in this past month, I'll not go and give all the spiel about my whole experience, but in the past month, I actually, when I sat down with some of the doctors and with one of the other clients that I had, they had a sense of what is an audience look like. We go through at least 20 to 30 questions that clearly portray, when we are doing branding and marketing, that show what exactly should it look like. So then they are like thinking, oh, I didn't think about that, this is how they look, this is how they look. So we think that we know our audience, but actually we do not know our audience, because the projection of when they come to us versus how they behave in real life, we do a lot of different kind of analysis through our AI tools to help us target the correct audience. Oh, that's why we have a rigorous system to figure out what is the audience, not the
and
generic.
you are right, and this is where the technology company and software company they started with the UX and UI to understand the user experience and how they behave. We try to understand because we thought this is how they need, and this is what they looking. So this is where the product managers some most of the time need to spend time with the customer to know exactly what their problem, so to solve the problem they need, not the problem we thought it's there.
Exactly.
And this is where we come the role someone need to sit with the ideal customer, communicate with them and be the focal point for them and speak their language. And again, you keep giving me more example why your unique value proposition it's good to be in the marketing, and I do agree with that. And hopefully we'll see more clear messages and creative messages for the patients, and also to help them to promote the health and to see preventive medicine is a good
It's
thing.
not just the patients, it's also people who are into coaching. You could have healthy people, like not people sick, but you just need a little bit of, or
This is my
sometimes
next
people are working
question
with
for you.
executives.
Here, my next question for you, because we start to see the professional in the healthcare, they are hesitant to do self promotion and to promote their services or what they are doing. And when they do it in the wrong way. So how you address those concerns and help them to address the strategic branding?
So one system is that you show them the market. Like, this is what is happening in the market. If you don't do this, then you are not meeting the market. So why should, okay, say I'm an orthopedic clinic, but there's another orthopedic clinic next door. They're doing something more for their patients. Why should, and the same price, why shouldn't they go to that orthopedic as opposed to you? So they need to see you first. They're coming to see you. If you don't make a connection with them digitally, how will you develop trust? And then I give my own example. If I were not putting my face out there, if I were not showcasing myself, if I were just putting all branding, and not, interacting with people, or not showing that I'm a real human with real vulnerabilities and all that, would you have trusted to come to me?
No, I will not.
So that's what gets them thinking. At least that's the thinking part. That's how we start. That, if I were not invested in making relationship with you, would you have come to me? Most of the time the answer is no. So then they start thinking about it, and that's the starting point. Of course, different doctors that are different level of comfort, we don't like to push them, because in the end, I try not to, Rome was not built in one day. So mindset is not built in one day. It's a years of thing. So there's layers and layers of surface of why they feel that way. So I don't expect them to peel off that service, that phase right away. It is like a process. There's a lot of different things we can do. We can hire other people. We can do this. But I'm very clear that, yes, I understand what you're saying, but you're hiring me to give you advice. I mean, I cannot not do justice to the payment you're giving me. So I tell them very clearly that in my professional experience, this is not going to work out. But I value what you're saying. I want you to be happy too. So we try to figure out a happy medium in the end. This is what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah. The driver for this journey will be the customer, physician, nurse, whatever, and they will see how they want. But one of the things they need also to see and trust the expertise you provided for them, because they hire you to advise them. Otherwise, they can do it by themselves. So here, tell me, what is the common mistake the healthcare professionals they do in their own online presence?
I don't think I can pinpoint one of them, because of my perspective has also evolved. Previously, I was doing, just like I said, I was doing pain medicine and maybe some neuro and all that, but mostly pain medicine. But now, as the time goes, my clientele has changed, the way their challenges has changed. So I think it is not knowing the goals, not knowing. Okay, so here's the challenge that I'm seeing more in different industries, not just pain management, but everywhere. They know their goals, but how it's projected is over here. The projection of their goals and their goals should match. Their projection is over here and their goals are over here. We have to bring it together. Like, for example, one of client that I was working with, she had a huge creative idea, whereas her clientele are people who are executives. Now, executive people are not going to look at the bling. They're going to look at, can you deliver the service? So she was very much, she knew what in the back end, I had to kind of go through a series of questions to figure out, to help her understand what is her ideal clients. So first of that, we need to make them think what is their ideal clients, even though we know, but they should, in the mind, they should understand it too. And then secondly, I kind of coach them at the same time to think, put yourself from their shoes. Yes, you have a brand and you have certain kind of idea how your brand should look like, but you tell me, in the end of the day, are you more interested in them seeing your creative side or your functional side? So then it starts moving towards the goals. And this is it's a time consuming process, but it does in the end gives the most value to the patient, to my customer, sorry, excuse me.
Absolutely. So tell me how you utilize the AI technology with your customer, with your client, through your agency to approach a better result through the technology.
Lots of different things. I mean, different AI tools for different things. Like if they're writing newsletter, we will put different kind of AI. If the newsletter requires some kind of research, because you have to, like Perplexity is very good for that. Blogging, you also need to use some research. So Perplexity is good for that. But to organize a blog, Cloud is good for that. So there are different, like this is an example. There's a lot of different video editing stuff. I am actually seeing a lot of people who are using in video type of videos. I have, at least in my own connection, there are at least 10 to 12 doctors who have very good messaging, and they're also using like in video type of clips, but they're not gaining popularity on LinkedIn. They may be gaining some popularity on Instagram and all that, but they're not picking up so I mean, you really have to understand which technology. There's a lot of research that goes into marketing. What is working, what is not working. This is a whole system. I take a lot of time in research. So you
So
have to
you
use the
mentioned here
right
when we
way.
started about the LinkedIn, and now also you mentioned it's hard for them, even if they have a good messages, to be out to have that viral and outreach on the LinkedIn. Can you share with me from your perspective and from marketing perspective? First of all, where is the best platform for a clinician to put their content? Is it Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn?
Different. So some of the doctors are selling courses. Part of it can be done in Instagram, but you have to change the tone. So there are lots of nuances in it. There's not one platform. The thing lies in really dissecting and how you assess. Okay, it's the same thing with the doctor. The better their assessment is, the better their diagnosis is, the better the treatment plan is. It's the same thing with marketing, which is really one of the missing things, that they think that it is a logarithm, it is all about buzz buzz buzz, and we will find solution, and that's it. So that's why they, when I talk to the doctors, they have a lot of that back package or back baggage, that, oh, my marketing didn't go well, so you'll be another person doing the same thing. And then so I have to tell them that, hey, do a lot of rigorous research, and we do a lot of assessment. That's why we generate certain. So I honestly, to be honest with you, coming back to your question, there's not one platform. We have to sometimes draw more than one platform to gain the same result, or sometimes depending on their because budget also matters. If they cannot provide the budget and they don't have the ability to do it, then we also have to be conservative in our approach. So one is not possible. We have to think multidimensional way.
So if I'm assuming I am an individual professional, I don't have any kind of business, so just me. So do I need to stay on or to keep creating content on the LinkedIn? Do I need to be on the LinkedIn first of all?
Okay, so when you say you mean you as a nurse, or you as an entrepreneur working
No,
with the
as a
hospital?
nurse, as a doctor, as an entrepreneur. I work with my employer and nothing to do within the hype of the entrepreneurship or side hustle.
Yeah, then you can stay in other queue, because even if you, LinkedIn is a lot of work, and amongst all the, beside Google, a part of the Google, the advertisement that is run on the Google, LinkedIn is the second highest, where the burn is really high. Like, if you're paying for one day advertisement, LinkedIn advertisement is extremely expensive compared to other platforms like Instagram or Facebook. Google ads also have a very big burnout. You give 1,000 to Google, and it will chew it up in couple of hours, maybe in one day, as opposed to 1,000 on Facebook. You can easily run for, depending on what kind of the advertisement is, what is the reach, and there are lots of statistics that go in that. But just in general, the burn of Google is very high, the burn of LinkedIn is very high. You don't have to. Organic marketing is great. I personally like organic marketing. I do a lot more organic marketing for my own self, and I've seen much more better outcomes and better relationship building. But it's also my goal. I want to build my business strategy is building relationships and then business. That's
One
how it.
of the myths I keep seeing, if I use the AI, there's an ethical or accuracy of the data, and everyone will notice I write in the AI. So, from your perspective, is there an issue or something wrong to use the AI to craft a good post and messages in good way, or this is something considered unethical?
And I don't think it is unethical to use AI. That's why it is heavily used in the medical industry as well. And in fact, I would say that if you are not into any kind of AI field, you are losing. I mean, if you're not jumping into the AI, whether you're a businessman or not, if there are actually researches that are actively saying that nurses and doctors who are behind on the AI, they will, in few years time, they will have adjustment problems, because AI is going to infiltrate in our EHR system, in our other things. There's a lot of potential in documentation, even like I was mentioning, that a lot of doctors do not like to do documentation and charting. Instead of them charting, why not an AI should do that? So unethical, even if there are things that are unethical, the need of demand and the need of time is such that we will have to construct it in a way that it becomes ethical. Like, there should not be a proprietary issue, or there should not be the agencies or the innovators who are making AI, they will pretty soon be striked with the challenge of making the AI so smart that there is no proprietary stealing or intellectual property stealing problem and compliance issue. It's just that they'd have to do to comply with the supply and chain demand. I don't see it happening otherwise.
Yeah,
And if it is,
likewise, I agree with you, totally agree.
yeah.
So here, one of the things keep see you, and you do a lot of initiative, and you approach me also like other nurses. You keep encouraging them to follow their dream and to build their side hustle or entrepreneurial spirit to go further, and keep encouraging them to do that. So from your point of view, where you see nursing, they have entrepreneur space, they still is untapped and they can use it.
I think you really have to look at what you feel strongly for. I think the best thing you do is figure out where your talent is. Like some of the nurses and doctors, they're very good with organization. So they should follow some, maybe if they want to go into entrepreneurial skill, they must do an entrepreneurial, they should pick, like I said, I picked out 23 things, but I shortlisted them to 3 because I also had to see where my nursing skill was at best. So when I was a nurse, 2-3 compliments kept on coming up. That A, I'm very good with patient education, and B, I'm very good with like medical information. So those are the things that I can put in digital marketing. So if you are very good with organization or leadership skills, then pick an entrepreneurial skill that works to your strength in the bedside as well. For example, coaching business would be great for somebody who's in leadership roles because they can now train people to be better leaders through their own coaching. How can other nurses, like for example, if I'm good at leadership roles, then for me, it makes a lot more sense to start a coaching business to train other nurses to be entrepreneur leaders or become leaders in their hospitals or their clinics or whatever, the management skills, without having to go to MBA or other educational platforms. So play to your strength. Basically, play to your strength. Don't play against to it. That's why some of the people who become entrepreneurs, like nurses and doctors, they're frustrated because they thought, oh my gosh, this is a great idea. Some other doctor friend, my friend has opened up this business and it's rockets. They're making thousands of dollars per day and everything. But is their strength same as yours? Do not superimpose yourself to them. You are unique. So your business should be unique. They should speak you, not them. In the end, it's your money
Absolutely.
on the line.
And here, one of the things, just to follow with this topic, I keep hearing a lot of not nurses everywhere. As a human, I'm not aware what is my strength, what is my skills, and here we can have this is in 2 ways. Something I'm good in leadership, as example, it's very subjective. How I will know I am good in leadership. Second thing, sometimes we have imposter syndrome. We don't believe in our skills, and assuming I discover this. So you will tell me now, apart from my question, how I will discover my strength, how I will also discover this is a good idea of the business and it's profitable for me. So it's good to go there, like what you mentioned right now with 2 different business idea.
If this episode sparked something in you, here's how you can keep our mission alive. Subscribe to Uncharted Narratives Surdiyat. Leave us a 5-star review. It helps more amazing people discover our stories. Share an episode that moved you with a colleague or friend. Connect with me on LinkedIn and join our healthcare innovation community. Together, we're not just telling stories. Until next time, stay curious, stay passionate, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in healthcare. See you in the next episode of Uncharted Narratives Sardiyat. We've covered some incredible ground today, but our conversation is far from over. In our next episode, we'll dive deeper and explore even more fascinating insights. Stay tuned for part 2 of our conversation on Uncharted Narratives.